And as you know, Waiguru's position, she was fronted by the Kenya Kwanza government. And you've seen many a times the deputy president speaks of politics of shares, meaning that in the shareholding, they identified key positions, one of them being the chairperson for the Council of Governors. If you ask me, there are so many qualified governors who would stand and defend the governors.
Yes. We
have seen governors like Isaac Ruto. We have seen governors like Oparanya and their positions. We have seen Munya and how they stood to defend the position of governors. One thing that Governor Waiguru should know is that there are two levels of governments. As much as they need to cooperate, there is also the aspect of autonomy. There is also aspect of accountability. And there is also the aspect of fighting for what belongs to them. Now, it is you asking why the energy is not as expected. You see, there is this notion that when couples fight, they fight from the same, they fight on the same side.
Yes.
So that you should not come out to expose your king when the king is naked. So that is what Waiguru is trying very much not to expose the DP. Because as things stand, facts are speaking for themselves that the deputy president,
yes,
one is lying to Kenyans. And the deputy president is the deputy party leader of Kenya Kwanza, and he's also the deputy president of the Kenya Kwanza government.
That's it.
So Waiguru has to get the best words to just massage the incoming kingpin of the mountain. That is number one. Number two, Waiguru also fears, because you see, right now, everyone can be mobilized. And she fears that if she comes out very hard to point out at the shortfalls of the deputy president, it may not only interfere, because you see the history of Waiguru. Waiguru has always been saved by the members of parliament, by the executive, when she was put to a lot of pressure, impeachments and everything. So that could also explain. So there are three things. To my understanding, there are three things. Number one, Waiguru is not talking tough as expected,
yes,
because they are on the same side with the deputy president in terms of the government.
Yes,
and she does not want to wash their dirty linen in public, of which the linen is already showing in the public to be very dirty. Number two, she is also trading cautiously, so that the deputy president does not use that as a political tool that, you see, now those who should defend me have deserted me. And number three, Waiguru is not speaking as a representative, let me say not speaking as a representative of the governors, but she's not taking the leadership roles as the governor's chair, the Council of Governors chair.
Okay.
She should have allegiance first to the Council of Governors before the Kenya Kwanza government. So if she understood her role, then we shall be having a very smooth cooperation and accountability. The same thing that the Mombasa governor is doing. You see, Mombasa governor is doing that with that vigor, because number one, he is also doing it as a leader of opposition, as a member of the opposition party. So he's putting the government to account for their utterances, for their purported dispatch of money which are not forthcoming. And number three is speaking rightly to the president that he cannot be intimidated. So, and of course, as expected, everything in Kenya is politics.
That's it.
And like I said, politicians will have a way of shifting the blames and making it to appear as though the other political formation is not that realistic with their demands,
yes,
and that they are being wrongfully targeted, and that someone is distracting them. So it is upon the members of the public also to take up this responsibility,
yes,
of putting the government of the day on task and ask very tough questions. Because if you expect politicians to ask questions, and you see some of these politicians, when you ask tough questions, you have underlying and unresolved issues.
Okay.
You fear that they may be reignited. And when they are reignited, it will just throw you off balance. So we need the activists, we need professionals, and we need the electorates to show their anger by making the necessary steps.
pretty much. Simba, if we can, let's move into the next issue.